First, I wanted to start by saying thank you so very much for everybody, especially at the Brady Corporation, for supporting the 707 and Marquette University. My name is Cynthia D'Amico, and I am a PhD candidate at Marquette in educational policy with a focus on curriculum development and design. So I'm here today to talk about a problem that we are facing in our nation. And unfortunately, in today's society, particularly amid this COVID virus, we can see that the civil discourse is disappearing, and logical, rhetorical arguments are being replaced with tweets and sound bites. And that's really a large problem. It's really a literacy crisis. And when I'm talking about a literacy crisis, just wanted to share a couple statistics. Less than 30% of US students were rated proficient in writing skills. Even worse, 20% of America's 12th graders don't even meet basic standards. And this is really compounded by the problem with our minority populations. It is estimated that by 2025, a quarter of our students will be ESL, or English as Second Language students. Unfortunately, there's only one ESL teacher for every 150 students, and that's a large problem. So we at the Color of English have come up with an ingenious solution to try to help level the educational playing field. We use these 8 colorful birds. There are friendly word birds and these 5 sentence patterns. We call them graphic organizers for the sentence level. And what we do is we train teachers to build their knowledge and then give them the tools and resources that they can use to give their students an understanding of both the art and science of the English language. And that really provides a sound educational foundation for their entire educational career. So a little bit of context. I started my career as an employment and labor attorney at a gas and electric company. When I walked into that job, I had no understanding of the complicated process and procedures that were in place in terms of distributing those resources. I found myself sitting across the table from the United States Steelworkers, and I often struggled with the imposter syndrome pretty much anytime somebody dropped a case on my desk. But I learned to lean into that panic, and I would roll up my sleeves and don my hard hat and go down to the generating station to learn those processes and procedures. It was an incredible experience, and I learned a great deal. But after 10 years and seeking a little bit more work-life balance, I decided to go back and get certified as a teacher for high school. And that was all very easy and fun while I was teaching social studies in some of the best public schools in Illinois. But as fate would have it, one day I felt compelled to take a teaching position in a small Catholic school in Chicago. It was a Title I school. And when I got there, they asked if I would teach English as well. And I thought, sure, no problem. I'm an attorney. I can write well. But I remember vividly the day that I collected my first batch of papers, and I had that rush of panic and struggled with that imposter syndrome that I hadn't felt in so many years, because I quickly realized that although I had mastered the English language, that did not translate into being qualified to teach it. So at that point, I leaned in again, and I started researching everything I could about how to understand the structure of the English language, but more importantly, to teach it. I came up with a really successful program to help my high school students, and I applied it in a college environment as well. But the more research I did, I realized that this is an elementary level issue. We need to bring this down to a much lower level. And according to the Common Core state standard, by 5th grade, students are supposed to have mastered the basic conventions of the English language. And this just wasn't happening. A large part of that results from the fact that teachers cannot teach what they themselves don't know. Research has shown that syntax and grammar has been ostensibly absent from classrooms for the past 30 years. So many of our young workforce, in terms of teachers, don't have the knowledge they need to teach the skills that our students need. Now, most teachers come from homes where academic English is spoken, so they're able to fall back on their intuitive knowledge of the language that they learned. But for millions of our minority students who are not that fortunate, they don't have that benefit. So this is a breakdown of a diagnostic test that was given to teachers in an elementary level school in a suburban district in Illinois. The fact that the teachers performed so poorly on this diagnostic test is alarming. Now, I could walk down the street and ask people if they knew these terms, and most people wouldn't. They would have maybe forgotten it. I don't know what a quadratic equation is, but I'm not responsible for teaching it. If teachers are going to teach this material, they really need to understand it well themselves. So what are we going to do about it? We perform a training and development platform for teachers, so they'll have the knowledge to work with their students, and then we provide them with the tools that they need to develop what we call a word sense in their students. Word sense is a deep conceptual understanding of the underlying patterns in the English language that provide the framework for purposely and creatively employing the 8 parts of speech in order to communicate effectively. What does word sense look like? Well, this is Charlie. He was a rising 5th grader who was struggling in English and particularly writing. And we worked with him for a few months, and the results were nothing short of amazing. We teach kids about construction, creative construction with language. It's not about deconstructing. It's not in a vacuum. And this is a sentence that Charlie built. And he was very, very proud of his construction. And we've come to notice that young boys like to build, and this blends in just great with that philosophy. This is what word sense looks like with our youngest learners. Young learners have an open mind, and they don't have any preconceived notions about what language looks like. So they're open and engaged and having fun while developing really important literacy skills. Fortunately, our market potential is huge, and it's really important to notice that Title I and Title III provide federal funds for states to help them with the tools to support ESL students and students in low socioeconomic environments. So that's our target market. That's where we would like to hit first. After that, we'll focus on traditional schools and the growing homeschool market, and then ultimately to international schools and exchange programs. So how we stack up? Well, we do have competitors, but I'm quite confident that we rise above all of them. And in addition to providing the teacher training, I think we stand out in the multimodality classroom resources that we offer that really help teachers bring language alive for their students. So education is the great equalizer in our society. And in today's world, we need to provide our students with the tools to communicate their needs and advocate for their rights as well. But I could certainly use some help. I have invested 10 years of time and my own money to make this project a reality. But in order to get it to the next level, I really need some help. If I were fortunate enough to be awarded these funds, I would take $4,500 and begin to convert the materials that we've already created over the years and put them onto a seamless learning management system platform so we could bring this process online. And that is extremely important, especially in light of where we are with the coronavirus and lockdown and distant learning. So that would be a really big asset. Additionally, I would use $3,000 to cover the material costs to provide a beta test for students in elementary schools. I would target 50 ESL students, 25 Title I students, and 25 traditional students. I was in the process of a beta test this year, but unfortunately, because of the coronavirus, that has all shifted. So thank you very much for your consideration.
Good afternoon. We are Kratos Experiences, and we have 5 years of experience in soft skills training for high school students in Latin America. Today, we are introducing the 4.0 accreditation to upskill high school students in the United States. The fourth industrial revolution represents the greatest threat and opportunity for our generation. Just within the next 10 years, more than 800 million workers will be displaced by technology in 43 countries, and that's according to a report from McKinsey. But even here in Wisconsin, 1 of every 4 jobs is at the risk of being displaced as well. And this comes from a study from the Brookings Institution. However, opportunity also arises because millions of new jobs will be created. But the challenge is that the skills that schools are teaching right away are declining, while soft skills like critical thinking, complex problem solving, emotional intelligence are on the rise, but schools are not covering that demand. And those are the skills that we are looking forward to teach our students. Society will have to upskill by training the new generation with these soft skills and retraining the existing generations with them as well. By doing this, we would create social impact in education, in community development, and working conditions. The 4.0 accreditation is a blend of experiential learning on one side and technology on the other. We have created a series of soft skills trainings for the fourth industrial revolution, and they have been uploaded in a platform that is already operating. Teachers and students will have access to that platform, and they will execute that series of trainings. If they pass the assessments, the students will receive the certificate that they have been trained with the skills for the workforce of the future. Our trainers will train remotely the teachers. We are unique because we are not competing with educational institutions. We are serving them. We are a complement so that they can become more competitive. At the same time, we offer a remote service yet experiential. So the students, they will not only be looking at YouTube videos. No, they will have to learn by doing. We also use technology as a tool to scale and reach masses. And we resemble the workforce of the future. We are international and intercultural. Our business model is pretty simple. Who are our customers? Our secondary education institutions in the state of Wisconsin. We are looking forward to do a pilot in the state within the next months. 2 of the schools that we have in mind for that pilot are Marquette High and Cristo Rey High School. If we do that pilot, we would break even our investment. Just if we work with 35 schools, we would be speaking about a profit margin of almost 40%. An important thing here, and that is according to the prices that we charge in Latin America, so it could be a lot more. The return of this investment today would be 525 students impacted in that pilot. And that pilot will enable us to prepare our soft launch in the state for the upcoming year, as well as to secure our platform. But a good thing that we are a remote company is that the buying power of the dollars when you do the currency exchange in Latin America will be multiplied. So we would hire a full-time team down there, and at the same time, we would create great marketing materials to use and increase our sales here. Who are we? Our team. On the right, you see Rebecca. She's our academic project manager. Below, you see Gustavo. He's our operations and finance manager. On the left, you see Eduardo. He's our legal and tech manager. And I am Carlos, the one in the middle, the Marquette MBA student, and I work on the management and strategy of the company. A bit about our story. In 2011, we began training high school students with soft skills. In 2015, we founded our company and we began working with schools in Venezuela. In 2018, we brought the company to the United States and we began working with schools from Venezuela, Colombia, and Peru. Some of our results are: we have won 12 delegation awards at competitions held at Harvard, the University of Pennsylvania, the United Nations, and even in London. We have trained more than 380 students from 3 countries, and we even generated $150,000 in revenue under the world's worst economy in Venezuela. But we are not only numbers and results. For us, it's even more important the impact that we are generating in our students, similar to Roberto. Roberto attended several of our programs when he was in high school and then in college. Then he became one of the leaders protesting against the government in Venezuela. And for that reason, he had to go into the exile. In Portugal, last year, he founded the first bike sharing service in the Azores island. And he did it because he won a grant from the European Union for companies that generate social impact and sustainability. And similar to Roberto, we have students in 3 continents impacting the world. Our future. Today, we are aiming at launching our pilot in 3 schools in Wisconsin within the next months. By running that pilot, we will compile all the information and validate our model here in the US so that we can do our soft launch in the year 2021-2022 in Wisconsin as well. And from 2023 and beyond, we are aiming at expanding not only with schools here in the US, but also to companies, because the workforce will need to be upskilled as well. So today, the greatest risk that we face as a society is appeasement. We need to make a decision of whether we are proactive or reactive. It is a reality, and here goes the problem, that schools and companies will need to upskill or they will crumble. What we offer to you today is our years of experience in Latin America doing that. At the same time, we offer a sustainable business model based on our low costs and especially our scalability. But even more important, we are inviting you to generate social impact with us, because we cannot turn it back with so many children to educate, communities to develop, and workplaces to be shaped. Join us today, and we will not only honor Marquette's pledge to be the difference. Join us today, and we can lead the difference together. Thank you.
So I am Danya Robinson. I am a junior in the College of Communications, studying public relations and marketing, and this is STAIN. So what if I told you that fashion, yes, pieces of clothing have had one of the biggest impacts on my life? Why? It taught me patience, personal growth, and how to be business-minded at a very young age. Fashion has always been something that I could express myself in, and it was always something that I could control. Growing up on the north side of Milwaukee, there was rarely any role models or people I was able to look up to for inspiration. But this didn't stop my dreams. The one person that did inspire me was my grandmother, Mary. Mary was a fashion designer and a seamstress, and she owned her own little dress boutique. As a young child, I was often sent to my grandmother's house when my parents were working. I used to despise going to my grandma's house because there was little to do and there were so many rules. I then remember seeing her sewing one day and creating garments that were beautiful. And I thought, wow, you made that? Because for some odd reason, I didn't think humans could make the clothing that I wore. She then showed me her basement, which had loads of sewing materials, designs, and fabrics that she would all use to create these masterpieces. At that moment, a love for creation was sparked inside of me. My grandma then began to teach me how to sew at the age of 9. In high school, I was pretty much a tomboy, but I still love fashion. I played rugby and I boxed, but I also enjoy shopping and doing my makeup. Many were often concerned about my femininity due to me playing sports, because back in that time, it wasn't really common for those two worlds to coexist. Women's streetwear or even making tomboy chic wasn't a thing. But I wanted to make it common for a girl to wear a sweatshirt and still look cute in it. I enjoyed expressing myself through fashion, the confidence it gave me and the freedom that it came with. And I wanted to share that feeling with others by offering items that can help them stand out and feel confident too. I saw the divide between these two worlds and was determined to collide them with fashion. And out of that, I birthed 53206 Apparel, which was a versatile streetwear line for men and women. 53206 Apparel is a growing success, and I began to fall in love with the look of confidence and happiness that customers showed when they received and wore my clothing. The line began to grow and grow, and due to our social media presence and our customers constantly raving about their products to others, we encountered much success. Because of this, we even began to grow a fan base of a couple of celebrities. Another one of my passions has always been protecting the environment. As I've been hearing so many tragedies in the news about our ecosystem, I knew that I wanted to help with these issues one day. I then came up with a solution to be able to do what I love, which is designing, while catering to the growing needs of my customers and helping the ecosystem at the same time. We performed market research using a survey which was sent to our customers and other individuals that were interested in our brand. Customers expressed that they want clothing that is versatile and can be worn in many different settings, clothes that are made ethically and are not destroying our planet due to the materials needed to make them, clothes that are high quality, and clothes that have the uniqueness and variety because they are sick of all the clothes in the store looking the same. As customers started to demand more clothing pieces and express that they also wanted a clothing brand that supports sustainability, fashion ethics, and keeping our earth green, we decided to rebrand our line to fit the wants and needs of our customers. Stain was birthed, a line that will help you make your mark in fashion and for the planet. I'm Danya Robinson, and I'm the founder of Stain clothing brand. At Stain, we're committed to producing high fashion at the best price in a sustainable way. Most of our products are made with care and consideration for the planet and for the people who make them, and also for the environment. We incorporate garments containing more sustainable materials in our product line so that you can reduce your carbon footprint. Along with our clothing items, we incorporate items that use sustainable materials such as organic cotton and recycled fabrics, as well as recycled and upcycled clothing pieces. By choosing our products, you help us make the fashion industry more sustainable. So our targeted market is something that is great for us to understand because we know exactly what to create and push out to our customers. So it's usually women ages 16 to 30, middle class, trendy, fashionable girls that live in big cities where expressing yourself is usually common through like clothes and creativity. What sets us apart from other brands are we incorporate the recycled clothing and fabrics and also the upcycled clothing so that customers can feel good about the clothes and where they come from. We also have one-of-one products that are very unique and custom fit for our trend-setting customers so that their outfits don't look similar to the other outfits you buy at fast fashion websites and brands. We also focus on inexpensive, versatile clothing that you can wear in multiple settings and gives you a luxury streetwear feel. So in our product line, we will include custom pieces, which are sewn by me and they're sent to a manufacturer for a large production, recycled clothing pieces that come from secondhand shops or thrift stores that have the luxury streetwear feel and fit the aesthetic of our brand. And then the upcycled clothing pieces, which are secondhand clothing pieces that we cut, design, and turn into a whole new modern look. And lastly, we get clothing pieces from wholesale suppliers, and they we get clothes that match the aesthetic and feel of our brand. So currently we are in the process of building up inventory. We have upcycled and recycled clothing pieces, and we've also been sampling wholesale pieces. The outfit I have on today is actually two lines from our product line. One is the upcycled clothing piece. Well, they're both upcycled clothing pieces actually. So what exactly is that luxury streetwear look? The luxury streetwear look is versatile, and it's an outfit you could wear to a restaurant or an event or the club or an outing, like basically a look that looks great anywhere. So how can individuals shop Stain? So we will be using the social media method since that has been a great support in driving our sales, and we will release lookbooks and products and different items that will be coming out. We will show the customers before they release, and then when they finally release on our website, we will show those on social media as well. So customers could then go to the website, pick the outfits that they want, put them in their checkout cart, and get them shipped to them. And then they're a happy customer. So as products have been demanded more than ever, even with COVID-19, we've had over 20 different orders for face masks using different cool like fabrics made out of recycled materials. We want to use the money to expand our inventory, get machine and supplies that will help our production be a little more faster and efficient, and also increase our website and online presence and make that more professional. Stained is a brand that will help you make your mark in the planet and in your wardrobe, and we hope you shop with us one day. Thanks for listening.